Coming up on tonight's episode, we explore a Wolf-Rayet star, one of the most chaotic stars in our universe, how to spot one of the brightest open star clusters in our night sky, and we take a look at everyone's favourite star in terrifying detail, our sun. Our first wonder is very much a say what you see type of deep sky object. For many people, this is referred to as the helmet of everyone's most beloved Norse god. Here is Thor's helmet, Nebula.
Are you ready?
Thor Odinson is an action hero, and Thor's helmet Nebula is no different really, because there is plenty of action going on at the centre. Here lies a Wolf-Rayet star, which is a truly massive star at the end of its life. It is shedding its most outer layers into space at a ridiculous speed. In doing so, it is creating these stunning designs that liven up our night sky. You can find it by looking a little further to the northeast of the brightest star in our night sky, Sirius. It's probably one of the most difficult targets to image on our entire list for us northern observers, but that is not going to stop me from trying. You see, this is one of the reasons I love this smart telescope. I'm really impressed it's managed to pick it up. Is it the best image you've ever seen? No, but it's a really good capture of a difficult target. I can't imagine it's very easy to image as an amateur from your back garden, especially when your telescope isn't located on your windowsill. Nevertheless, I'm going to give it a go with multiple amateur telescope setups. The first of which is going to be utilising the Hope D60 telescope and the ASI 585 MC Air camera, which I think has captured a pretty decent image. My next attempt, however, is going to be with this huge setup, using the Celestron 11-inch Edge HD telescope and an ASI 2600 monochrome camera. I have captured this image of Thor's helmet. As far as making out the structure goes, I'm very happy with that, but compared to what you can capture with a remote observatory located much further south in Chile, it is nowhere near as good. I actually think that the $1 million observatory shot isn't too far off being as good as the $1 billion image taken with Hubble. I mean, judge for yourself. I'll include a copy of this image on my Patreon if you'd like to download your very own copy for free. As for the ratings, I have judged Thor's helmet to have a beauty of 74, a power of 65, and a mystery of 49, giving it an overall wonder rating of 63. This object, I like it. Another.
This drink, I like it.
I know, it's great, right?
Another!
So there we go, for our first wonder of the evening. I guess you could say the ratings were quite low because Thor's helmet ranks in 36th on our wonder wall. What do you think of the ratings? Let me know in the comments down below. Next up, we have a wonder that is one of the easiest objects for beginner astrophotographers to spot from their back garden setup. In fact, this cluster of stars is very easily identifiable with even a small pair of binoculars. This is the Beehive Cluster. This sparkling swarm of stars sits right in the heart of the constellation of Cancer. It's one of the closest open clusters to Earth. To the naked eye, it looks like a faint misty smudge, but through binoculars or a small telescope, it explodes into hundreds of glittering stars. I think it's a great beginner visual target for a telescope, and as for imaging, you can quite easily capture the vibrant colours. This image was also displayed last week, and that's because that really bright point of light to the left of the Beehive Cluster is actually the red planet Mars. It is diffraction spikes galore when viewed with a $1 million remote observatory telescope setup. Meanwhile, Hubble simply cannot view the star cluster because it's too big from our point of view here on Earth. Instead, it's decided to flex and show us a close-up shot of some of the background stars and galaxies. Talk about a show-off. The Beehive Cluster gets a 71 in terms of beauty, a 49 for power, and a 34 in terms of mystery, giving it a total wonder rating of 51. Yeah, so I know I did say for our last wonder that it is ranked quite lowly on our wonder wall, but this next one is ranked even lower because the Beehive Cluster is placed in the 40th position on our wonder wall. Surely the only place from here is up. So let's have a look at our next wonder. Now our final wonder of the evening is a bit of a weird one, because the title of this series is the 42 Wonders of Our Night Sky, and this is an object that at no point appears in our night sky, least of all here in the UK when we very rarely see it during the daytime. This is our sun, Sol. Right, so I'm outside the studio for this one and I'm pointing my $500 smart telescope at the sun, but critically I am placing the included solar filter in front of the lens to allow it to view the sun clearly in white light. Even with the minuscule addition of a white light filter like this, you can see how alive our sun is. In fact, even with a smartphone held up to the sun, you can make out the faintest indication of today's solar activity. What you're seeing here are sunspots. They're actually cooler regions on the surface of the sun, caused by intense magnetic fields that suppress the hot plasma rising from below. Because they're slightly cooler than the surroundings, they appear darker by contrast. So they're not actually black, they're just less bright. Many of them form in pairs or groups, with magnetic field lines snapping and reconnecting between them, sometimes triggering solar flares and coronal mass ejections. They vary all the time, and no time more than the present. The sun is at the peak of its solar cycle, meaning everything is going crazy. In order to view this craziness in all of its glory, I'm stepping things up and using a very specialized tool that I bought used off eBay for £500. This is the Daystar Quark Chromosphere Hydrogen Alpha eyepiece. So this is going to slot into the telescope where your eyepiece normally goes. My camera is then going to go behind it just here. This is going to allow me to view the sun in a very specific frequency of light, which will showcase how truly violent our sun is. By taking multiple videos over the period of an hour, I can create a really cool time lapse of our sun, which perfectly illustrates how active it really is. But what I'm really excited to use it for now is a solar eclipse. Today's eclipse is only a partial one, but it does mean we'll get to observe a rare event in spectacular style. And would you look at that? Going into this, I fully expected to see a shadowy silhouette move in front of the sun. Nothing too spectacular. But what I didn't expect, and what has truly blown my mind, is this. Do you see that? Those are craters and mountains on the moon. How cool is that? Thanks to a £500 eyepiece and a bog standard £500 telescope, I've been able to witness this event like few others. So that's what I saw in my personal setup, and here's what you can see with a professional observatory level solar telescope setup. And if that isn't one of the coolest images of the entire series, then I do not know what is. I mean, my word, that is outrageous. To add a sense of scale to this image of our sun, here's our Earth. Yep, the sun is throwing a mild tantrum and produces a solar eruption that will consume our tiny little planet multiple times. When these solar storms get particularly intense, we definitely notice. As the charged particles slam into Earth's magnetic field and are funneled towards the poles, they collide with gases in our upper atmosphere. This excites the atoms, knocking them into a higher energy state. When they fall back to their normal state, they release their extra energy as light. And that is what causes this marvel. As you can expect, it only gets better when viewing our sun through the best solar telescopes on the planet. Here we can see how drastically the sunspots are changing over time. Much like the Earth and the planets, our sun also has a day, as per se. It takes on average 27 days to rotate once. So expect to see very different views when observing our sun throughout the month as it rotates on its axis. All in all, it might seem a bit bizarre, me including the sun as one of the wonders of our night sky, since it's the sole reason we can't observe these night sky wonders half the time, but it is a star just like all the rest of the stars in our universe. In terms of beauty, I've rated the sun a 65, mostly since without the use of specialized tools, it's really difficult to admire it. Its power is 91 and its mystery is 82, which you could argue should be higher since many of our ancestors referred to the sun as an almighty god. Overall, Sol earns a wonder rating of 79. In the same way that we have a separate category of astrophotography for imaging the moon, known as lunar imaging, we have something similar for imaging the sun. It's called solar imaging, and it's something that you can spend hours and hours pursuing. It's very much a craft that a lot of people have perfected and are capable of taking images like those I just showed you with the $1 million telescope. Yeah, I think they're really cool, and I think it's a complete different area of astrophotography that many people don't consider, but is extremely entertaining. Now, like I said, it's a bit weird having the sun on our wonder wall, considering it's just objects that are supposed to be captured in our night sky. Nevertheless, it is an instrumental component of astronomy, and that is why I have ranked it in the number 10 position on our wonder wall. And there we go, that concludes tonight's show. What did you think of the wonders and what would you rate each of them yourself? Let me know in the comments down below what you'd give each of them in terms of beauty, power and mystery. I'm very interested to know myself, and if you do so, you could be over a chance of winning your very own Seestar S50 Smart Telescope. Thank you very much for joining me tonight, and I hope to see you again next week when we'll explore 3 new wonders and see where they rank on our wonder wall. I'm Damon Scotting, and this was Astronomical. Next week, we're going to look at Uranus, as well as the gem that is the Ring Nebula, and how to spot one of the most stunning galaxies in our night sky, the galactic whirlpool Messier 51.